I was just
All right.
being nice. Mm.
So, hey, everybody, this is the relationship guru, Davina. We're here with Mr. John Jones in the house. Yay, the crowd goes wild. And
What's up?
so,
What's up?
what's up? What's up? So, Mr. John Jones is very influential in the music industry. We want him to share his story. And so I'm going to start out by letting you introduce yourself, John, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Glad to be here. The relationship guru. Thanks for having me. I want to start off by saying that. And who I am, I'm John Jones. I'm a singer, songwriter, actor, and I'm focusing on music, heavily right now. And I write songs, and I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
And I had to represent.
I see you represent.
Nah, but yeah. So grew up loving the arts, loving music, loving acting, just loving the whole gambit. And I went to Performing Arts High School in New York, the Fame School. I studied theater there, drama. After that, I did some projects, acting and stuff like that. I've been on, I was blessed to, be on ABC, NBC, a couple of projects, Law and Order, New York Undercover, some movies of the weeks and stuff. So I had some good experience with acting. Okay. And but music is my love because I can control that. Acting is not something that I audition for somebody and they tell me if I'm good enough to get the part. Music, it's my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's what I say. I create my own stories, my own, I can live, music is the thing. So that's where we are right now.
Oh, and, nice. And you said you've been in some movies. Name some of those movies, by the way.
Well, I was on a lot of TV. I did New York Undercover, Law and Order. I did a movie of the week called Summertime Switch. I did a movie with Gregory, the late great Gregory Hines. Nice. His directorial debut. He did a movie called Bleeding Hearts.
Yes.
And he cast me in his very first movie before he passed away. For his first movie he ever directed.
Nice.
And Bleeding Hearts, directed by Gregory Hines. I did Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel. That's like a cult classic. You can look that up on YouTube everywhere, The Bad Lieutenant.
Yes, I actually peeped you out on that one. I saw that a little bit. Very nice acting there.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But other than that, I've been writing and singing. Even then, right out of high school, I was singing and writing and had music groups. I went through the whole thing, trying to, I'm influenced by Michael Jackson, Jodeci, Babyface. These are the people that, touch my life musically. So I wanted to do that for other people. So that's one of the reasons I love making music. Not to sound corny, but I know it does sound corny, but that's basically what it is. I want to touch people musically.
I don't think that's corny at all. I think that is very heartfelt because music is so instrumental and it does touch people in so many ways. And if you can get your message across through music and change somebody's life, that's pivotal. That's very something to be proud of. So, that is game changing right there. So, because I have listened to some of your music actually, and we're going to, listen and sample a little bit of it later on in this interview. But I definitely want to know why is music a passion for you, and how early did you start with writing music?
Well, I would say first, why it's a passion for me because, like I said, I love the way the people that I love that's made me feel like Michael Jackson, Babyface, Stevie Wonder, like Sam Cooke. Like when those people, when they sing, when they're doing their thing, I'm moved. And I would like to do that to people. Like I've been inspired ever since I was a little kid. And I like to, I'm just addicted to that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Just singing and entertaining and making people react, you know. And that's why I love writing, because every song, some's a hit, some's a miss.
Yeah.
So just addicted to trying to like get the right group of songs together to make people, basically that's that. So
yeah.
What was the other question? I'm sorry.
How early, sorry, got a tickle in my throat. How early did you start writing music?
Well, I would say when did Michael Jackson make Thriller? I remember the first song I wrote, I was a little boy listening to Thriller.
That was probably 86, 88.
Yeah, in the 80s, around 84, 85, 86.
Yeah,
somewhere
around there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember listening to his song Pretty Young Thing.
Okay, PYT.
And I remember like writing my own version of PYT. That's probably one of the first songs I ever wrote. So he was like, tenderoni. I was like pretty, it was like I was just taking whatever he said and trying to flip it my way.
Right.
And I remember like my family saying, "Oh, that was nice." Like it was corny, but at the same, but they encouraged me. My family's been very supportive. My mother, my father, my brothers and sisters, they all told me it was really good. So that inspired me to keep on, writing and trying to outdo like the people I named, basically. So when I'm listening to Sam Cooke, I'm listening to the song, like the concept, why people love it, so I just want to do the same thing. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's something that I aspire to do,
Yes. So I listened to some of your music previously, and some of it is a little controversial, or maybe protest difference or protest forward, protest driven. Right. Have you been able to present some of your music in the Black Lives Matter movement or any civil rights movement?
Yeah, well, I did a project called the Black Love Movement. Yeah, and it was born during the Black Lives Matter movement. So it's actually like a playoff of the Black Lives Movement. So basically what I'm talking about on that is the EP. And one of the songs, I think, it has a song called Say Her Name.
Yeah.
Which is a tribute to Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Jefferson, and Black women who've been affected by the injustices in our, system in America, policing. And, I wanted to focus on the women because, we always hear about the men who are killed, but a lot of people don't realize that a lot of our women, our sisters are being taken away too, and it's, that's what the Black Love Movement's about. I'm actually speaking on, these things right here. I have a song called the Last Freedom Song. And what inspired that song, basically, I'm tired of all of the We Shall Overcome songs, the Negro spirituals, all that. Those were good. But what we shouldn't still be singing those, you know what I mean? So it's like, I was hoping to write the last freedom song, you know what I'm saying? Like, we should have to sing it. So basically, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just tired of all of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tired, going to the march, the rally, and all that. And,
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I want to play Say Her Name just really quickly for our listening audience so they can just kind of get a sample of your music. I think it's a very impressive song, and I think you really have put together the names well of a lot of the Black women who've lost their lives in injustice. So I'm going to play that for you right now, my listening audience. Well, thank you for that, because I definitely wanted to take that time and play that song, because I understand what it's like to be a Black female and have been stopped by the police. I had an incident, and I'm so thankful that my life was spared during that incident, but it could have gone a different way. And so when I hear that, it does bring back where I can recall the incident that I went through. I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But this focus is about you. And, that it does stir up something in you. So it stirs up all kinds of feelings. So I'm interested in learning, what is your creative process? How do you come up with the music, the beat, the words, and pull that all together? You sing in the shower?
Yeah, who doesn't sing in the shower? Everyone sings in the shower.
Right, you're right.
I thought that's what showers are made for. But but anyway, my process is basically I like to drive. I drive, and I do most of my writing when I'm driving.
Oh, wow.
So if I go from Jersey, where I live, back to my hometown of Brooklyn, it's like about an hour and a half, depending on the traffic. So if I'm listening to a track that I'm working on, I'll drive and get the concept, and by the time I come back, I'm just about done with it, and do a little tweaking and hit the studio. I like to record a new song every week, so I have I have a lot of material, but basically driving and, just life, just like watching the news.
Yeah.
Listening to what people are saying, conversing with people, seeing what people, I'm always listening for something that could be a good idea, like listening to what the ladies are saying. And because I love what Babyface did in the 80s and 90s, like how he connected with the women. And that's just like always been like, I want to do that. I want to have women talking about my music like that,
Watch out now. Yeah.
Not as sexy, but I want to cover it all, but I want to inspire,
Yeah, that is beautiful. We need aspirations and inspiration nowadays because we already have so many things that are pulling us down and so many negative things, especially when we turn on social media or the news. There's always something there that you can get caught up in that's a negative emotional story. So having those things that are positive and inspirational, we thank you in advance for that, because I know you're coming out with some new music, and what you have already inspires people. Do you have a favorite of your own songs?
Yeah, I mean, of the new batch, or just like, yeah,
Well,
basically, yeah. The new stuff, what I love, I have a song, I have a remake of a Jackson song called That's What You Get for Being Polite. And that's one of my favorites. I recorded that one about a year ago.
yeah.
Released it not too long ago. But that's I mean, yeah, currently that's my favorite, although I didn't write that one. But if we ask about one that I've written, my favorite would be a song on the Black Love Movement, a song called Tell Me Something.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Okay.
that's one of my favorites at the moment.
Okay.
And the message, the track, just the whole vibe of it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Nice. So you are an actor and a musician. How and when do you separate the two, and how and when do you blend them together?
Well, I blend them together all the time. Like whenever I'm writing, I'm also acting. So, so the acting skills and the education in acting makes it easy for me to, I wouldn't say easy, but it gives me places to go when I'm writing, becoming other characters, looking at things, from different perspectives, and
Yeah.
It helps me out, just when I'm writing, everything is not about me. Like when I tell you I'll talk to somebody and get an idea, get a concept, I have to, make it believable when I'm writing. So the acting comes into, that's where the acting takes over. I have to become and see people, that I'm writing about. I want you to understand it. So therefore I have to take on the role of, the time, after, not the role of a woman, like that's something I can't do, but I have to get into the character. Like I'm building a character. That's what happens when I'm writing a song.
Very well. Yeah, that makes sense. You do kind of have to get into character to be creative. Sometimes when I'm in creative mode, I probably do get into a little bit of a character. So I get that. And
Right.
I wonder that I think that's probably how most people create too, is, they have to step outside of themselves in order to create. And you mentioned Babyface and how he connects with women. He also connects with men, and, just on so many levels. So you also mentioned a few other ones. So if you had the opportunity to collaborate with someone, who would that be?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Well, definitely Michael Jackson was overall like,
yeah,
Michael Jackson, hands down, the greatest entertainer to ever live.
Yeah.
Best to do it. I would definitely Michael Jackson, Sam Cooke, but definitely Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Sam Cooke, those are both good ones. Any person that is still living you would want to collaborate with? So we putting this out in the universe, like right now?
Yeah. Right now, I would say Jay-Z, Kanye West.
Okay.
I love what Drake is doing.
Nice.
R&B wise, Mary J, of course.
That's a good one.
Yeah, definitely Mary J.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you hear that, Mary, Jay, Kanye.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We don't get it. I
Yeah,
definitely
you
have
heard
to
it
put
right
on it.
here first on the Relationship Guru show. So
Right
once
on.
you see this, reach out to your boy John Jones. He's ready, right?
I'm ready for sure.
For sure.
I'm
All
ready.
right. So what does, you said you drive back and forth and you're creating. What does your family personal life look like for you? Because it sounds like you're creating a song a week. Is there any inspiration there?
Well, actually, I probably create more songs than that in a week. I
Oh,
record.
wow.
I record once a week, once or
Okay.
twice a week.
Okay.
So my process is sort of like I think of a few ideas, and the ones that stand out the most. I tend to go into the studio and lay down. You don't want to just, I can't just lay down everything that comes to my mind. So the one that bothers me the most that I want to get off my chest, so once a week, sometimes twice a week. But that process, yeah, that's how that works. But
Okay.
yeah.
So your family and personal life, do they have any influence in your music?
Well, definitely. Like
Okay.
my daughter inspired the song "Say Her Name." Also, not inspired, but I wanted to create something that she would be proud of, and my nieces,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I want them to because I know how Breonna Taylor, Tatiana Jefferson, Sandra Bland, I know what their deaths meant to my daughter and my nieces, and so I wanted, definitely, my daughter, Bria, she's an artist as well. She actually she draws,
Oh,
and
nice.
beautiful, beautiful artwork. Um, I
So
wanted
art's running the
basically,
family.
yeah, she's heavily into like animation, and she wants to be an animator and do that type thing, and that's
Nice.
her world.
Nice.
But
Very nice.
the whole thing, when I think of Sandra Bland, Tatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor, I just think about my daughter. Those young women had a mother and a father, you know what I'm saying, who had to experience that.
Yes.
And just definitely my daughter is she's in everything that I try to do, like from this point on. That's why I try not, I stay away from the, vulgarity, and I don't want to disrespect women and degrade. I don't like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. Mainly not, even before my daughter came along, it was just that's just how I am. Period. Like that's why I mentioned Babyface, Sam Cooke. Like even the rappers that I like didn't really do that heavily. It wasn't like you didn't really hear Jay and Kanye really bashing women. They had their moments where they said things that weren't
Yeah.
right, but it wasn't like overall it wasn't a disrespectful tone towards women.
Yeah,
And I
even
don't
Jay-Z
appreciate
has
that.
come back and said he, in hindsight, some of the music that he's made now that he has a wife and family of his own, he probably should not have made. Yeah. So
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
understand.
definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are the top 3 things that you have learned in the last year? It can either be about yourself or about anything.
Top 3 things.
Yes.
Well, the pandemic definitely has shown me that you know I don't know, just we need a lot more. We're out of touch. Basically, you have the world's divided right now. Some people saying let's get vaccinated. The others are saying let's not. And
Yeah.
the one I just learned that I don't really have patience for the ignorance. I don't really. I didn't know we were that divided as a people.
Yeah.
Like, it's common sense. If you see people dying from something and you could do something to prevent that, why not? Like, like that argument is just something I don't really, I just get irked every day. So that's one thing I learned, that I didn't know we were that divided.
Okay.
I learned that you know, life is precious. Basically, you know, people,
So precious.
young and old, black and white. This COVID thing is taking us out. You know, we need
Yeah.
to really buckle down and get together. You know, tomorrow's not promised, and you know, every day I'm afraid. You know, thinking about this thing. Um, Third thing, I would probably say, I don't know, musically, I really don't know. Like the third thing would probably be, I don't know. It's so much that I've learned. I've learned that, you know, you
Yeah,
know, I just have to
it's a
keep
lot.
making good music.
Yeah, keep
Just
making
keep
good
making good
music.
music so I can talk to wonderful people like you. I really don't know.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So what are your upcoming events, or what's next for you? I know you're in the studio every week and you're, you know, laying down music every week, but do you have any movies coming up? Any, you know, things that we should see soon? Any things on the horizon?
Well, I have a video coming from my song "Tell Me Something" off the
Okay.
Black Love Movement. I have a single out. I have two singles out right now called "Mixed Signals" and a song called "Need You."
Okay.
And basically, those are the last two that I released, and they're doing, you know, getting a lot of hits, you know,
Okay. Nice.
Spotify. They're getting added to a lot of playlists. So you go for John Jones "Need You," John Jones "Mixed Signals,"
Yes.
and
And I
John
will
Jones.
put those in the show notes here too. So
Yeah,
absolutely. They'll be in the show notes all together, the video
right.
as well. So yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I always ask my guests this towards the end of the show.
Sure.
What is one piece of advice that you would give in 1 minute to one person?
Don't take anybody's advice.
Okay.
Because, you know, my walk may not be your walk, you know, so what works for you may not work for me, you know, but if I had to give, I would say study whatever it is you do, study your craft,
Yes.
and just study, read, and learn for yourself,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. That is some excellent, excellent advice. Thank you so much for your time this evening today.
Thank you.
And you are quite welcome. And so what I'm going to do is put your songs and attach it to here so people can see what talent this is right before me right now. And so definitely get your songs and your music some more exposure, because
Wow, I appreciate that.
there are some definite messages there. There's some
Thank you so much.
Yes, I love that. You know, I heard your music. I think I first heard it on Spotify or iPluggers, one of those two. And yeah, so definitely in tune to that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for your help. I
You
appreciate
are
it.
welcome, and thank you for your time today. And we will catch up soon. So that's all for the Relationship Guru. And we will see you next time. Have a great one, guys.